Testing, testing. What's good, friends and family? Mr. Flip Fly with you again. So as you see, I'm not shaved, but I had two choices. Make this video or shave. I chose to make the video. As you see, I'm still alive. This is my surviving the resort video. Went to the resort La Romana. I got some notes here for you guys. A lot of things I noticed about resorts, and I'll give you some tips at the end of the video. Just about, I guess, surviving the resort and things you may want to know about when you go book your trip to a resort. Really, I think in general, I've covered this in things you should do traveling. But for resorts, I noticed a few things, and I'll touch on that. So let's get into it real quick. My notes prior to the video starting. There's a couple clips here and in the video about the resort trip, my adventure, and at the end, I'll throw some tips in there if you decide to stay at a resort, what you should know, what you should do. Okay, so first, La Romana, I stayed in Live Bahiba, I guess you say it, however you say it. The drive was about 5.5 hours. A lot of beautiful scenery. I got to see a couple of the baseball complexes. You know, Major League has a bunch of baseball complexes in the Santo Domingo, Boca Chica area, San Pedro area, San Francisco area. So I drove in the back roads, and I think I saw Boston, Pittsburgh, San Diego, I believe. I saw about 5 or 6 of them out there. So that was cool. I didn't stop and take any pics at the time because I was just in a rush. I've been on the road since 5 o'clock. I wanted to get to the hotel. So we get to Be Live in Bayi-Habe, I believe. However you say it. I'm saying it wrong. I'm sure I am. But Be Live in La Romana. Okay, so first, they can't find my reservation. You're going to see a picture of me with a super attitude with the counter behind me. Then they go, oh, we're sorry. Our computers are frozen. They're down at the moment. Excuse me. So I'm like, well, what the hell does it got to do with me? I just drove 5.5 hours. I want my room. And I'm hungry. Then they go, well, computers are down. Your room's not going to be ready till 3. I believe I was there at like 12:30 or something like that. And so they finally found a reservation. I said, oh, at least I'm not here for nothing. They check me in, but I can't check in the room. But they give me the band, and I can go do my thing on the resort. And I said, okay, let me go venture. They said the restaurant should be open. I go, and the 24-hour restaurant is not open. This was an adventure. I will go back to a resort again, another one, just to check it out, but I did have a nice little adventure. Let's see. So I kept notes on the trip as things progressed and as things went on, so I could report back to you guys on my surviving the resort and how I survived. Got the band, not the room, as I said. I took a walk around. Very beautiful resort. Clear blue water. I mean, it was amazing. I went and got a drink at one of the bars. It was that terrible classical liquor. It's not fake liquor. It's just the bottom shelf liquor that bars serve, and most resorts serve around the world. And it's just doesn't taste right. I don't like the fake juice. You know, they make that mixed juice where they blend it all up. Basically, line cooking and line serving drinks and stuff. I don't like that stuff. It doesn't taste good to me. So, towards the beach, they had a bar where they offer you top shelf items or better drinks. You just have to pay for them. I will tell you this, and this will be in my tips. I didn't have dollars on me. I only had pesos. They gave me a great rate if I paid in pesos. The dollar amount, I went and got a mojito. You'll see in the video here. And on the menu, it said $9, which is roughly almost 500 pesos, right? When I paid them in pesos, it was 200 pesos. So maybe if you're in DR, you might want to pay in pesos even at the resort. I don't know if that's everywhere. I'll find out the next resort I go to. But every time I paid in pesos, it was always cheaper. As I said, took a walk around. And it was beautiful. So then I finally go, like 2:30, said, let me go check about the room. I'm going to see if I get my room because I wanted to shower, wanted to get my bearings straight and all that. So they said, yeah, the room's ready. As it was 2:30, room's ready. I'm good to go. Gave me my key. Now, this was weird. I've been to hotels where someone runs to grab your bag. I had a duffel bag and a book bag. Go to the car and get it. Not one porter, not one person asked me did I want help. I kind of thought that was really weird. And I was good. I walked to the room, but it was weird to see all these people looking at me and not one person saying, hey, you need help with your bag. Hotels, regular hotels, they do it. I guess the resort, you got to be part of a group or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Also, this is, like I said, I'm new to the resort thing. I've been to the resorts in Jamaica and the Bahamas and Atlantis, which are very, very nice. This B-Live was supposed to be 5-star. I don't know. I've been to 5 stars in Jamaica. It was amazing. Whoever's been to the Bahamas and Atlantis knows that's top notch. Really super expensive, but top notch. I walk in there towards the room. It looks like the projects. And people are sitting on the steps. It's just weird. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Am I back in 40 in Baisley Projects right now? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, get in the room. No Wi-Fi. They actually have an option to pay for Wi-Fi. That doesn't work either. Luckily, I have service on my phones. Didn't need the Wi-Fi, but I'm like, what if I'm coming from out of town? I need Wi-Fi. No Wi-Fi. I heard a lot of people complaining about that on the resort as well. So I hit the mini bar. Mini bar only had a Pepsi, a 7-Up, and 2 Coors Light. You'll see that in the video. I took care of that. Went to lunch. The 24-hour restaurant finally opened up, but it was lunchtime. All the restaurants were open. Lunch was awful. Now, I will say this. I'm a very, very picky eater. And for those that know me, I have mild OCD. People were standing around the food, talking over the food, eating while they were getting the food. I couldn't deal with that, Also, the food just didn't taste that good to me. So lunch wasn't that great, but I was hungry. I ate little stuff that I could. It was what it was. Later on, dinner was amazing. Hands down, they had some great items for dinner. I even told one of the ladies, I said, why isn't the food for lunch as good as the food for dinner? Like, you guys outdid yourself for dinner. The dinner was amazing. Hands down, they had some great items there. I filled my plate up maybe 2 or 3 times. I ate very well for dinner. A very good dinner. I will say that. Let's see. Later on, I had an encounter. I went back to my room to change. I had an encounter with a roach. So I assumed it was the roach's room and he was subletting it out. Didn't know. Then I saw another roach and I realized they double booked the room. So we had a little discussion. Roaches left. That was weird. I'm thinking 5-star resort. Roaches are everywhere, of course, but 5-star resort is what it is. I'm just giving you guys a rundown of how the notes I kept, but you'll also see I made videos talking about what's going on. The next morning, breakfast wasn't that great. I wasn't too impressed, but I ate. Coffee was good, cappuccino was good, so that was cool. And also, we're in the Dominican Republic, and they have no mangoes as a fruit option. I love mangoes. Mangoes are very good for you. They help clean your system out, and no mangoes. So that was weird. First day I went without mangoes for a long time. And they made me this terrible omelet. It looked great. The chef was busting it down. He was doing it all up. It was awful. I ate maybe 2 pieces and tossed it. Also, I have to tell you guys, a subscriber, well, she's now a subscriber. She didn't know me, but she skipped me in line at breakfast, and we got to talking. Catherine, let me say it right, Catherine from London wants to thank all the Americans for all the fear mongering going on about Dominican Republic, because she just got 60% off on her next trip. So some people are scared, other people taking advantage of it. Also, the resort was packed with people. I actually went to the resort next door to see somebody. They wanted to give me a tour, but I decided not to do it. And that resort next door was packed as well. And I heard the club was packed, but I honestly, to make it to the club, I'll get into that in a second. As I said, at the end of this video, stay tuned. I'm going to give you guys tips on surviving the resort. Tips, my tips. Flip-flops tips on how he survived and how you can survive the resort. So you keep making it to live another day. So I'm going to give you pros and cons. The pros, and this is a big pro for me because I don't sleep. For those that know me, I have bad insomnia. I do not sleep. Super comfortable room. The AC made noise. It made a little rattling sound. Didn't really bother me. But for some reason, every time I touched that bed, with the room temperature being the way it was, I slept like a baby. I mean, I had my alarm set to go out. I would wake up, look at it, go right back to sleep. I actually slept very well in this resort. I don't know if it was the bed. It wasn't a TV because it was all Spanish channels and it was nothing good I wanted to see on anyway, so I turned the TV off. And as I said, when I'm on vacation, I don't watch TV. I really don't watch TV at home. So when I'm out, I'm not caring about TV. But Very comfortable rooms. I will say that. That was probably the biggest plus for me. I slept a lot. You know, I may have had, I usually sleep straight 2.5 hours maybe straight. I had sleep of like 4 to 5 straight hours straight. And then when I woke up, I was able to go right back to sleep because I was like, F it, we're not going, we'll be going to sleep. So very good sleep. Like I said, the bed was perfect. I actually got some time to relax. I was relaxed on this. This was a relaxing little trip for me. That's the one thing I can say is a very good pro. Also, the ambiance, beautiful scenery. I mean, everything at the resort was freaking beautiful. Very pleasing to the mind and the eyes. Very relaxing atmosphere. Everything was relaxing. I cannot lie about that. Besides the food, the vibe and the ambiance was very, very relaxing. I wish I had more time there because I would have loved to just sleep a little bit more, relax a little bit more. Chilled out on the beach. I chilled in the cabana by the pool and just got to relax. So that felt good. The cons, the buffet, as I said, line food. I'm not really with it, you know, because they just put all the food. There's no real dedication to your meal. There's no hands-on. It's just line food. They put it all out, shove it in the oven, bring it out. You know, no real touch with the spices and no real love and affection to the food. So I'm not a big fan of line food. It was cool. Like I said, that one dinner was great. The next dinner, I had reservations at one of the restaurants, the Japanese restaurant. About 10 of us showed up 5 minutes late, and they told us we couldn't come in. It was weird because I'm walking in, and as I'm walking, they're telling them they can't come because they're 5 minutes late, and I'm 5 minutes late. They do a show. I said, we don't care about a show. We just want to eat. And they said they couldn't let us in. So that was weird, but it is what it was. So I didn't get to try the restaurant. No focus on hydration. Now, I saw people drinking non-stop these drinks in this heat, and you get back to your room, you get in there, there's one giant bottle of water, not even giant, a liter of water, a Pepsi, a 7-Up, and 2 Coors Light, okay? I searched above and beyond in every store in that place for Gatorade or juice. They don't have it. No focus on hydration. So I can see how a lot of people might get sick. I've watched 2 dudes go to the bar maybe 7-8 times in less than 2 hours. Because you know the free drinks and the cups are small, so you're throwing them back. But then when you go back to the room, there's no hydration. Luckily, I stepped out of the resort, went to the store, got me some electrolytes and some Gatorade. I know how to stay hydrated. But I did notice that for a resort to give all this free liquor, there's no focus on hydration. So that was a con for me because I'm like, well, I can see how people can get sick. There's no hydration. Also, service. This is Dominican Republic. Service wasn't to die for. It wasn't that great. Unless they were selling you something, they really didn't want to talk to you or help you at anything. And as I said, the 24-hour restaurant was not open all the time, which I thought was 24 hours. So that was weird. But and then the drinks. The drinks were awful. I like my type of drinks, which is why I buy bottles and make my own drinks. But those bar drinks, I'm just not used to that cheap stuff. I understand people go to resorts and they like those cheap drinks, and it's cool. Me and cheap liquor don't mix. You know, my liver is at a point now where it's either we drink the good stuff or we're out of here. You know, they gave me an option, and I told them it's got to be the good stuff. So those are my cons on it. Stay tuned for the tips. I'm having it in the video. Here's the video, me surviving the resort. Hope you guys enjoy. Like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for the tips. I'm still here. We're going to go back to a resort again, another resort, maybe Punta Cana next time. So this is the mini bar, nothing in there. Give you coffee and a bottle of water. After all this time, I come to Pepsi, 7-Up, and 2 Coors Light. They removed all the liquor from in there. So no mini bar. What else can I do? I got a drink. I'm not drinking that cheap liquor down at the bar. I drank it already, so I got my drinks. My electrolyte, of course, keep me nice and refreshed. It's real hot right now, but I got my drinks of choice. I'm gonna show you the bar outside in the resort shortly. But I got my drinks. No mini bar. I'm gonna drink the Coors Light, but no mini. So this is the spot. Real basic. You'll get my review in the coming days of the video and all that. Nothing crazy. I didn't know I asked for a double room, but I got a double room, so it is what it is. I did find this interesting, though. I find this very interesting. In the hotel, it says, do you need a doctor? 24-hour doctors in the hotel. Credit cards accepted, everything's accepted. Spa. So, you know, it's cool. Nothing crazy. I'll give you more updates as we go on. I'm here in the Be Live Resort. Get myself together to go outside. Reporting live from the dangerous Dominican Republic. You see that over there. They're killing us out here. I'm really upset because the sand, I think, got in my cup and it's dangerous. And after drinking a little bit, it was in a mini bar. I'm checking my vitals, making sure I'm okay. I seen it still be kicking. A lot of people are upset because I'm still alive. So, early on Sunday morning, pretty bored. Had breakfast and crap, and I'm about to start my day with some Grey Goose, then hit the streets. I realized one thing, this resort thing is not for me. Very, very boring here. I need to be amongst the locals. You can take a look out real quick so you can see. It's pretty early in the morning. All right, so we're going in. We're going in. This is the mini bar. Coors Light. It says frost brewed, cold activated, frost brewed. If this shit is fake liquor, I'm going down. Coors Light. Who's the company? Budweiser's the company. I'm gonna drink it. I'm checking my vitals. I think I'm alive. We'll see what happens. We'll see. So I hope you guys liked the video. Here are my tips to surviving the resort. Tip number 1, bring your own liquor. If you're afraid to drink the liquor, bring your own. You can stop at duty free in the States before you get on the plane, and when you land, there's duty free inside the airport. Now for me, I wouldn't mind that cheap liquor, but like I said, my liver won't allow me to drink cheap stuff. I'm used to the little higher grade alcohol, so I have to bring my own liquor. If the cheap liquor doesn't bother you, by all means, it's actually pretty good. I just can't, the cheap liquor with that fake juice, that processed juice, I just can't drink it. I'm used to natural stuff, so I just can't drink that. So bring your own liquor. That's one tip. Like I said, stop in duty free. You can stop at some stores along the way to the resort. There's tons of stores. Sometimes they try to rush you to the resort, but you can buy your own liquor. Bring snacks. One thing I will say, and it goes back to a story that happened with somebody in another resort, you want some snacks. Now, if I told you guys the 24-hour restaurant was not always open all the time, so I don't know why it's called 24 hours. Sometimes you get a little hungry. You might just decide to snack on until it's open again. Have some snacks, something to munch on until the place is open again. Bring Lysol. For me, like I said, I have OCD. I like things clean. The room was immaculate, besides the 2 roaches that visited me. But just bring Lysol. Spray your towels, spray your bed, stuff like that. That's just a tip for somebody who likes to be extra clean. Bring cups. They're very funny with cups. You get these little cups. It's hard to really, you gotta keep switching cups. That annoys me. Bring cups so that it'll save your day. Now, the hydration. Very, very important, people. I told you, the resorts do not focus on hydration. It kind of bothered me when I looked around and see people drinking 7, 8, 9 drinks in a couple of hours, and when you go back to the room, it doesn't hydrate you. I got my electrolyte. I drink this a lot. Now, this is like the Pedialyte in DR. I also drink Pedialyte, and also Gatorade, and a lot of water. So keep yourself hydrated. As soon as you enter your room, or before you even get to the resort, stop and get you some things to hydrate yourself. Buy bottles of water, buy Gatorade, buy electrolyte. Just get you something, because I realize, I'm not making any diagnosis, but I realize that I'm watching people drink, and there's no way to hydrate. So you can get really, really sick down here because you're not hydrated, and you've been drinking nonstop, and it's hot. So just common sense, which you don't think of because we're on vacation, but just really focus on hydration, because the resort does not focus on hydration. 1 bottle of water, bottle of 7-Up, bottle of Pepsi, 2 Coors Light, as you saw in the video. Focus on hydration for yourself to keep yourself healthy and not get overheated, and get sick. Also, my last tip, know the meal times. Like I said, I like tons of people standing around the food. Know the meal times, get there early, get your food when it's fresh and hot. And this way you don't worry about a lot of people, and you get your meal. And if you're hungry, you can come back before the meal ends and get you a second plate, or a third, fourth plate, however much you eat. Also, when you're at the resort, have fun, don't be scared, and don't worry. I survived. I'm going to the resort again, another one in Punta Cana. I survived. These are my tips. This was my survival story. I'm glad you guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. I love all you guys.